Hi everyone, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs. It is a broad spectrum collective reading, so I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where this fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's broken or wrong. You're not on the wrong path or anything like that. You just might be working on something different at this time. It's originally created for the 26th of June, Monday, but it's not necessarily solely set for that date. The message in the reading could find you on a different date but still make sense to your current situation. So listen to the message even if the date is not, correct. If it fits, by all means utilize it. If it doesn't, that's okay too. It's basically take what you need and leave the rest. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos or weekly videos. In there is just some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm currently using during the readings, where to find me on social media if you want to follow me, if you want to initiate a conversation regarding a private reading, those would be the spaces where you would need to do so, either at my Facebook business page or my Instagram. Please note that I will never try and reach out to you to sell you a reading, so if anybody ever were to do that, that is not me. You would need to initiate that conversation. Also, there's easy ways to support the channel. You can do so by hitting the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you get notified when I put up new content. I do daily videos, so there's always something new going up. You can share the video out and leave me a question or comment on the reading if you have anything that you want to share, add, anything like that. Certainly feel free to do so. Actually, and then I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning, which is the weekly reading, which is another layer of energy. So if you hear me talking about cards that you don't see in this reading, I'm referring back to that reading. And somebody, one of my Patreon subscribers, she actually pointed out that I noticed that there was 2 9s in the Sunday reading. She also pointed out the fact that there was 2 2s, which becomes 11-11 if you add the cards together. So that was something she caught that I didn't even catch. So please feel free to leave comments because that made me feel a whole lot better about how the reading ended out, if that makes sense. So just another aside. You can check that out in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this video if you'd like. So let's see what the cards in Spirit want us to know for the day. Clarifiers are being a little stodgy. Okay, our card for the day is the 7 of Swords. We've been seeing a lot of this 7 of Swords. I swear it comes up every week. Okay, so the 7 of Swords is, there's an untruth in the mix somewhere. The easy way to boil down the 7 of Swords is it's the liar, cheater, stealer card. There's somebody maybe withholding information or not giving you the full story, not telling you everything that's involved, or there could be somewhere where we're not telling the full story or, giving all of the information. This 7 of Swords can either be us doing this on purpose, or it could be somebody well, I don't want to say intentionally, because sometimes 7 of Swords can also represent somebody who thinks they're doing the right thing even though it's not. They might be trying to save us from harm or worry and not telling us what's really going on, and in doing so, they're actually maybe creating a worse scenario unknowingly. But there is an aspect of betrayal, untruth, thievery even, or, like unshared information here that is at hand. Now, I say that and I think about yesterday's reading for the week, and we kick off the week with the 9 of Swords. And that's a card of worry, fear. It's also a Swords card, which means it's the air element, it's the mind. We might be struggling with trying to find the truth in a situation, right? That would be the 9 of Swords from Sunday's reading and the 7 of Swords. we may be aware that there is something that we're not fully being told, or that we're aware of. There could be a missing piece of information that we're trying to figure out on our own, and we're not getting it from the other party or from the situation we're involved in. And that could be driving us a little bit crazy, let's just say. And I don't mean crazy in a bad way, but the Nine of Swords would indicate that. And we had it twice. We had 2 nines yesterday. We had the Nine of Swords twice in the weekly, in the clarifiers, and in the weekly 3 cards, right? So that Nine of Swords does say that we are mulling over something, we're fixated on something, or we're maybe even overthinking something. And this might be the reason why, because we feel like we're missing a vital piece of information. Something's being withheld, something's not being shared, somebody's not telling the truth. We can maybe sense that logically, and that's why these swords are up. The thing is that what I want to leave you guys with is that the midweek card is the sun, which means the truth will come out, or a new day will dawn, and we will figure this one out. But if we find ourselves struggling with something that feels just off, not right, untrue, that is this energy. It may feel like in our gut, intuitionally, this isn't the right path, these are not your droids, as they say in Star Wars, you know, like, it just doesn't feel right, and we can't quite maybe figure it out. They might be telling us something different than what they're displaying, saying, or doing, if that makes sense. That can also be Seven of Swords energy. So I would just say, and this is more advice than intuitional read, go easy on yourself during this time, especially with all of these swords like flying around, you know, with the Nine of Swords underpinning this Seven of Swords. We're trying to figure something out here that may be either bigger than we can wrap our mind around, or the attempt could be a little futile in a sense, meaning like, if the information's not going to be handed over or shared freely, is it really worth going through the struggle to obtain it? If we already sense that it's off, if it's already bringing us stress, if it's already bringing us disease in some shape, form, or fashion. And here's the thing. We know already that it's off. Like, that's my feeling, especially with the Nine of Swords underpinning this. We know that something doesn't feel right. And so just be aware that this is what's going on. And I'm kind of overseeing this card, but there's something, this could be something where we're, like, I'm trying to apply this to my life. I'm seeing it as like an area of my life where I am stuck trying to figure it out and find the truth around this area. And that truth may never come. And so that could be a lie that I'm telling myself, and Seven of Swordsing myself in a way. Does that make sense? And so I'm keeping myself stuck in this hamster wheel of trying to figure something out when the answer may not ever come or be there, or be the answer that makes sense to me ultimately. And so releasing that as soon as possible for me would be ideal. So if you have something like that going on, that is sort of this energy, or how I kind of perceive this card. The sun bodes well, and we also have the Nine of Pentacles ending out the week. So that says that we will get to a more sure-footed, stable, grounded stance by the end of the week, but we have to maybe go through some of this thought process and mulling and decision-making throughout this part of the week. And it's not always easy, let's just be honest. All right, let's look at the Modern Nirvana Oracle. Oh my God, this is the card for the week. It came up yesterday. It is emptiness. I'm going to reread it to you because I really actually like it, and I practiced this morning. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I woke up, I've been having a lot of like insomnia issues, stress, just feeling really not my normal self. And this emptiness card, part of the activity in it that I read yesterday, I did this morning while lying in bed. And because I got like about 4 hours of sleep last night. It's ridiculous. And it actually kind of helped, this idea of this white light pushing things out of our space, because there's just, I'm not even sure if the anxiety that I'm carrying belongs to me, if that makes sense, right? And that can be some of this Seven of Swords too. So if somebody's got, like, energetically keyed into you or mentally keyed into you and communicating with you telepathically, they could be causing some of this distress too. So let's just be aware of that. So let me read emptiness to you. And this is about emptying out all of this weird communication, negative thinking, struggle bus, trying to make sense of, like, I don't know, poor behavior, poor decisions, whatever it is. It may not be sensible, or it may not actually make sense. We may not be able to understand the reasoning, the actions, the why as to the way things are playing out right now. And I think that's what emptiness is kind of trying to show us. It's just be in alignment, not in alignment with it, but almost get neutral around it, like empty it out of your space as quickly as possible. So we mold clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that makes the vessel useful. Lao Tzu, Tao Te Ching. How can we even remotely begin to fathom emptiness, a space free of judgment, sensory stimulation, and extrapolations of what is? Simply contemplating emptiness opens a space that can be filled with thoughts, ideas, and calculations of what the void contains. To free the mind from all projection and find the usefulness in emptiness's infinite potential, we must contemplate the value that can be found in vacancy by entering the void. Let us try a breathing exercise so that we can connect to this space as we reconcile duality with every inhale and exhale and find a sacred connection to present moment awareness. Step 1, close your eyes and take note of any sensations you may currently be feeling in your body, heart, and mind. Acknowledge any thoughts that may be present inside and say in your mind's eye, I release, I relax, I let go. With every inhale, visualize a bright white light clearing away all thoughts, clearing away all judgment, and clearing away all obscurations of the mind as the light radiates and emanates through every cell of your body and every fiber of your being. With every exhale, let go of any heaviness, any doubt, any fear, releasing darkness and density, allowing them to absorb back into the cosmos. Imagining that the darkness is transformed into beauty and its power is fueling space to hold billions and billions of stars. Step 3, continue this breathing pattern until you feel all sense of self, identity, and perception dissolve into dark matter, silent, dazzling darkness, and become enraptured in the appreciation of emptiness as the container which holds the potential for all creation. Step 4, float in this emptiness and allow this energy to defragment all subconscious clutter as your thoughts organize on their own, without force or effort, only beautiful empty space organizing for you without any resistance. Step 5, open your eyes and take note of any feelings, sensations, or downloads you may have received while holding these visions of emptiness. And the interesting thing is this vision of emptiness, vision was the grounding stone for the week. So I think it's important that we do this exercise this week. Did you find a resolution or revelation? Record any insight you may have received and see how it may present itself on your path today. The mantra is, my mind is an open door to empty space. Where there were once thoughts, only the elegance of stillness remains. I think this activity also frees us from the roundabout of the Nine of Swords that underpins this, and honestly, I don't know if it's the insanity or the ludicrousness of the Seven of Swords, but I feel like the Seven of Swords is some stupidity that's going on around us. We just are trying to figure out why, and we can't get the answer, and it could be driving us nuts. All right, let's look at the clarifiers to see what's going on with them, because they felt like a little heavy today during the shuffle. So we've got the Magician. That's good creative energy. There's a force behind that. It's major arcana. It's all of the elements being put to good work. It's us taking action, maybe taking the forefront, doing the emptiness exercise, clearing our mind, clearing our vision, resetting our vision, and then making it into a reality with the power of the Magician. It says that it's possible. This could very much be us creating that Sun midweek card that comes in where the truth is revealed, or a new path is revealed, or we're re-energized in a different way and not feeling as entrapped as we have been. Then we have the Two of Swords. This was also in the clarifiers from the Sunday reading. This is about drawing a boundary to me. The Two of Swords can be a no, and it can be a decision-making process, right? Being at a crossroads. But with the Two of Swords here, the thing I like about it, sometimes the blindfold can be a hindrance on her, but I actually like it. It feels like we're trying to shut things out and go into our own clarity of our intuition and clarify our thoughts, limiting maybe the amount of thoughts we're having, or letting things go, dropping it down from the 9 to the 7 to the 2, where the 2 is really about, no, I have a boundary here, you can't go past it. I need my sanity right now. And the Magician will help to produce more of that with the strength of the Two of Swords. So kind of listening to our intuition, which is this moon here, and our emotional body, which is this water behind us, and aligning those with our thoughts, and then protecting our space a little bit, grounding it and owning it, our mental space, may help during this time. And then the last card is the Five of Wands. Now this card is about fighting, obviously, just by the design. The Five of Wands is an argument, a debate, a difference of opinion. It could be multiple opinions or ideas being thrown around that don't necessarily jive with our own. Fives are transitory, but it is a push-pull energy of, is this right, is that right, is this right, is that right? And again, with the Nine of Swords underpinning this, it can be the actions of others, their stances on things, their beliefs, their take, or whatever, could be muddying our vision at this time. So we want to be aware of that and then begin to create a way out of that. We don't have to get into the Five of Wands argument or debate or push-pull energy. We can be aware of it, and we can sit from the sidelines and watch, right? We can watch it play out. We don't have to change it or force it to understand our needs, our thoughts, our perceptions of the situation, if that makes sense, right? And I'm going to say this, with that Five of Wands there, that emptiness card almost feels all the more important, because there might be multiple things we need to empty from our space right now that could be causing us stress and worry and concern. It may not just be one thing, one person, one situation, one untruth that's being told. It could be a multitude of things that are just flying at us that we're just like in the melee kind of going like, no. So we may want to be aware of that and practice this emptiness and not get involved or, bring ourselves to the dysfunction that's going on around us, if that makes sense. So let me go to the grounding stone. And this is just a principle we should ground in today while we are dealing with this stuff. While we're steadying the ship, let's say. This is promise. So I feel like I always say this with promise. Promise has like two meanings on it. One is a promise that we make to ourselves or to another individual, right? It's our word. And I think that our word is powerful, right? But also it's like promise in the sense of the promised land, like the opportunity that lies within going through this process. Understanding that although this may be painful, confusing, stressful, when we get to the other side, there may actually be a point to all of it, or a learning, an understanding, a clarity, something that does, I don't know if payoff is the right word, but kind of like something that does make sense of the situation, if that makes sense. So like staying focused on that vision, which is the grounding stone for the week, right? Which emptiness talks about clearing ourselves out into the darkness and then almost creating new visions. Create those new visions with this idea of what's to come and the promise that you're sort of making to yourself to care for yourself during this time, and the promise and the opportunity that comes from doing these actions. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. So it'll be an interesting week to see how it plays out. It's definitely going to shift by the midweek. But please like the video if you enjoyed it. Share the video out. Leave me a question or comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. Hang in there for those of you that may be struggling, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.